Watch 38 coming down here. Fires on the road already. Jasper, put the blanket up.
Devastating fires in Australia, killing at least 18 people, forcing tens of thousands from their homes. Now, many of those residents, as well as tourists, are seeking shelter now from those flames on beaches. Our Maggie Ruley is there for us in Australia. Good morning, Maggie.
TJ, with fire danger expected to increase into the weekend today, crews were out there trying to get the upper hand. Firefighters here tell us that they were able to contain a large fire just up the road, even stopping it from jumping across a busy street. A week-long state of emergency declared this morning in parts of Australia. Thousands fleeing as more than 200 fires rage in two of Australia's most populated states, killing at least 18 people. Firefighters driving through the inferno, shielding their windows with blankets as the flames engulf their vehicle.
When we were in there, in the thick of it, we thought that this could be it.
In the south, some families are trapped on the beach as the fires surround them on all sides. The Australian Navy's now stepping in, delivering aid to those waiting to evacuate. The wildfires are also burning through much of Australia's precious ecosystem, killing an estimated 500 million animals and threatening countless others.
He's so thirsty.
Like this koala found fighting for his life.
Here he is, this is Paul. Oh.
He's recovering at the koala hospital and even has a name, Paul. He was the first to be rescued from these fires, but dozens followed.
It's really going to set back the koalas who are already in serious decline.
But it's little ones like Paul that make the researchers here keep fighting. Both researchers at the koala hospital and firefighters here tell us that they've been working in this region for decades and they have never seen anything like this. Guys?
Just imagine the massive size of that.
Trying to put that into scale, 12 million acres, they said, is bigger than the states of Connecticut and New Jersey combined.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. All right.
Hello. With at least 8 people known to have died since Monday alone and thousands continuing to shelter in evacuation centres, the terrifying scale of Australia's bushfire disaster is beginning to emerge. A mass exodus from southern New South Wales is underway, with long lines of cars clogging highways leading right back to Sydney and Canberra. Fire officials have told holidaymakers to urgently leave a long stretch of coastline before more ferocious fires are expected to sweep in over the weekend. Not everyone wants to go.
Seeing just all the locals, I can see they're all nervous and anxious and everyone's just on edge.
Looking at the queues here, it would be a long, long trip. We actually think we'd be better off staying here
Our motorhome's parked by the water. If anything does happen, we can just go down to the water.
Well, the fire itself is colossal. Flames have been reported to have reached 70 metres high. But these pictures from Monday show huge blazes in the state of Victoria. The plume of smoke generated by the inferno covers 5.5 million square kilometres. That's the size of Europe. That thick black cloud is now drifting towards New Zealand and its pristine snowy mountains and glaciers. Let's take you live to Phil Mercer, who joins us now live from Sydney. And we're not even at the peak of the bushfire season, Phil.
Well, what makes this crisis unprecedented is that this fire season has started much earlier than normal, and these fires are more widespread than normal, and they are burning with an intensity that few Australians have ever seen. So this is really the challenge facing Australia's authorities, the federal government, state governments, and also the fire services in many Australian states. How do they cope with infernos on this scale? And what's happened in southern New South Wales, or what happened on New Year's Eve, really came at the worst possible time. This is a very popular tourist destination. Many families, residents, retirees and other people would have been down on the coastline enjoying Christmas and New Year's festivities, and that's why the evacuation is so chaotic and complicated. There are so many people in the fire zone. Some don't want to leave, others are trying to leave but can't because of various road closures. Adding to this sense of unease and unpredictability is the fact that there are shortages of food, fuel and water, and also internet and phone services have gone down. So that's adding to this great sense of unease as thousands of people continue to pour out of that region.
And elsewhere, Phil, extraordinary stories of personal survival.
We're hearing it left, right and centre, and I think when you add up all the emotions that have been swirling around in this crisis, there has been trauma, there has been grief, anxiety, fear, unpredictability, and also great resilience and strength, and also a great deal of good fortune as well. We've seen firefighters taking footage from inside their fire engines as they go through literally a massive firestorm, having to put up protective blankets to protect themselves, blankets to the windows. Also homeowners who have heroically battled those flames. Others have literally had to drive their cars into the water of lakes, and other people have gone into the water at the beach to escape the flames. So these extraordinary stories, there are many of them, and the expectation is sadly that we'll be hearing many more of them because this crisis shows no sign of ending.
OK, Phil in Sydney with the latest. Thank you very much indeed. Well, as we've been hearing, smoke from the bushfires in Australia has blown to New Zealand, blanketing some of the country's retreating glaciers. Some of these pictures I think we can just show you now from Twitter show the ash-covered snow on one of the country's biggest tourist attractions, the Franz Josef Glacier. Some climate change scientists fear that the ash, which drifted 1,900 kilometres across the Tasman Sea, could absorb more heat and melt snow more quickly this summer. New Zealand's glaciers are already shrinking, with scientists predicting they could disappear completely by the end of the century. People elsewhere in the country have also woken up to a hazy sunrise, smoke smothering towns nationwide.